What is it like? You guys, obviously, you're married, your partners, your parents. Challenging?
No, it's great.
No problem.
You walk out for a couple minutes. We're going to do one-on-ones now.
I don't want to say challenging.
We do two different things.
Yeah. We complement each other very well.
We definitely see things very differently. There is some bumping heads a little bit at times, but we don't bring it home with us. We just sort of I push right through him and make whatever I want to happen. And he's pissed off, probably cursing at me for a minute.
Never.
And then it goes away.
Welcome to Staying Hungry. Today's guests, which is actually a first for us, is Melanie and Gerard from Broadway Gourmet, Bagel and caterers. So welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So, why don't we start with? You guys have been in business for 30 years. Is this the 30th year?
32 years.
32 years. Yeah. And I'll make a little bit of a joke, but I said to Gerard, hey, why don't you come on the podcast? And he said, what are we going to talk about? And I said, you have a story. You guys have been in business for 30 plus years, and it's certainly not easy. And we'll dig into that. But Gerard, where was the first location?
First location was in Massapequa. Was at 832 North Broadway. It was just a deli, small deli.
Okay.
And it was there for 9 years.
And that was the first location on Broadway?
First location, yeah.
Then you moved it again?
We moved a couple of blocks north, a bigger location, but we incorporated bagels into our business.
Got it. And then those were the days. And, I've been coming to Broadway Gourmet for 20 years. I've been in Massapequa. But today, you're in an even bigger location, more north on Broadway, just south of Southern State, where I think pretty cool if you could share. You guys bought a distressed closed nursery, right?
Yes.
And it actually had propane in the middle, which you still have today.
We kept it, yeah. They were able to bury the tank, so we kept it.
But you guys literally took what I remember was just a complete distressed building and turned it into what it is today. And maybe you could talk a little bit about what that project was like, because I can't imagine it being simple, converting it from what it was.
It was a little over 2 years project.
Mm-hmm. And we were not going to keep the propane. We were not planning on it.
Okay.
It was in the middle of the parking lot. And we were drawing out the plans and, speaking with different contractors. And as we were doing that, I just started to think to myself, the real estate agent showed us the numbers that DeSanto Nursery was doing with the propane. And it was hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It was many years ago. And I thought to myself, this could possibly pay the property taxes if we keep it.
Yeah.
And it's grandfathered in, and you can't get another filling station. You can't get a filling station, I don't think, anymore. So since it was grandfathered in, we asked them if they would bury it below the ground for us so that we can build a parking lot around it.
It made sense.
It made sense. So that's why we kept it. I mean, we're not making that much money with it, but it helps.
Yeah,
it's another business.
It draws people to the business for purpose of
filling.
filling.
Normally come for food to get their tank filled up. So we're there. We have it. And then it just, opens up other avenues.
Staying top of mind, because I'll run out of propane at my house at the worst possible time. And then you're like, where do I get it? And you forget of where to go. Yeah. And the places, like you said,
now.
Well, that was the other thing, is that the
nice
places that I
tank.
used to go to are either out of business or they're not there anymore. Yeah. So it's grab some bagels and
is it disruptive at times?
Yes, it's a terrible location in the parking lot. It's like the worst thing that ever happened. Yeah. I actually called the town when we were building and said, can we please build a double-decker parking lot like New York City? And they said no.
Right. That would be a tough sell in any township.
But it's terrible. But
I laughed to myself because during the summer months, mostly when you use propane,
it's terrible.
I will actually look at the time. I mean, I'm conscious of it and go, I'm not going over there at 1 o'clock and going, could you fill this when there's 50 people online? So I try to wait until 2:30 for what that's worth. But
thank you.
So if anyone's listening, try to go there for propane and bagels and catering. But
go outside the normal.
Wait
hours.
till after lunchtime.
But we don't mind. We have other people that can do it.
But let's go. So you're in Massapequa. How did you get into the bagel business? And And has there always been, like, were you in the bagel business as young
growing up?
versions?
I don't say growing up, but I was late teens and I worked at a bagel store in Brooklyn where I grew up. And then my brother and his partners actually opened up 24-hour bagel store in Oceanside in late 80s, early 90s. And that's how I really got into it.
Is that bagel store still there?
Still there, yeah. Now I think it's Long Island Bagel Cafe. There's about 10 of them around.
Got it.
It was 24-hour bagel that we all went to after the clubs at 4 a.m.
Yep.
So yeah, if you were out at the clubs in the early 90s, you came to 24-hour bagel store afterwards.
Yeah. Well, we used to do, after high school, weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you at the clubs and then going into work, or you were already
Channel
at work?
80, right?
I'd be working.
That's exactly right.
I was on the overnights. I was on like
McGee's,
the 10 at night
Montego
to 8 in the morning
Bay.
shifts mostly.
And you were passionate about it?
Oh yeah, I loved it. As soon as I started, I loved it. Loved it. The adrenaline, just the whole thing about the baking of the bagels, and it was new to me a little bit, like that whole part of it.
Yeah.
So
It grew on you.
Very quickly.
Got it. And then, so you separated, or were you still partners with your brother?
Well, my brother, I was the manager. I was one of the managers.
Okay.
And then they sold it after a couple of years, and then kind of branched out on my own. Just delis. Me and a partner opened up a few delis
Prior
throughout the
to being
90s.
in the Massapequa area.
Yeah.
Got it. And then I think at one point you guys had another location?
Yes, in Lindenhurst.
Got it. Was it like a Broadway Gourmet? It operated
Yeah,
under.
it was part 2, or excuse me, it wasn't part 2. Broadway Gourmet 2, actually.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was just for a short period of time?
Was it like 2 years?
Yeah, about
maybe?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really, it wasn't the greatest spot. We didn't have it wasn't the greatest situation for us.
Got it.
So we sold it.
It made sense to just focus on what today Broadway Gourmet is. And some of the challenges in this industry, talk about it: labor, food costs, and we'll get to it after, because technology has certainly got to be a big part of the game. But what have you seen in so many years of being in the business and the challenges you face today?
Well, like you said, labor is always the biggest, hardest thing. Getting people to want to work, number one, and having them stay. I mean, we're lucky we have a very good staff. We're very lucky. But there's always extra. You need some part-timers, or you need somebody to fill a shift. That's been the biggest challenge over the years that I could see.
We've had
to
people
show
with
up.
us for a long time, though.
Oh, yeah, we have people
A lot of our
for such a
employees have
long
been
time.
with us for a long time. It's like a family.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, after those crazy days on the weekend, when it gets calm, then we joke around with each other. We're like a family. We love each other, and everybody wants to kill each other.
What are
at
the
times.
hours of operation at Broadway?
We're open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
Holidays, we cut it down. We'll close early.
Is there ever a day you're closed?
No. 365 days a year. Christmas Day.
And what
we're
time
open.
does the first person get there?
First person gets about 3 in the morning.
3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Baking, bagels.
Starts getting the process, the muffins, the bagels, getting the store ready to open. We have to do a lot of catering, so they're prepping for that too.
Yeah. How's that kind of? I see that catering's like a big part of your business now. When did that like change or become such a concentration for you?
It over the past, we've always done it, but I mean, it's been past 10 years maybe since it really, really expanded.
So we always basically cater to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All of our clients that know us for, I wasn't there for 32 years, as you can tell. He was. I was there like 20 years. But they've been coming in and they've all ordered throughout that time. And as it's basically all word of mouth, all of our business. So we have catered for the birth of their children, to the communions, the sweet 16s, and then at times their weddings.
Has the new facility allowed for this growth of that much
absolutely,
catering?
yeah.
It's
More room to operate, bigger kitchen, basement. We never had a basement before.
Has the aesthetic of it made an impact on it, you think, like just by sheer being in a facility like that? Or
Totally. That building was, it's right by a light.
Yeah.
We're on the corner. It's a freestanding building. I believe that it was a very good move.
has allowed you guys to expand like
The
that.
visibility of it became great.
And when did the most current location? When was that? When did that open?
2016, May of 2016.
Jeez.
So coming up on 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
In my brain, I'm like, oh,
Right.
it's been a couple of years.
It doesn't
but
feel like it.
it's been almost 10 years.
It's a long time. We bought it in 2014. We signed the papers, and then it took about 2 years to get it open.
Talk us through that a little, because a lot of listeners and people watching, it's always, I want to go buy a building. I want to, build it out. What does that entail? I guess walk us through some of the ups and downs.
I tell that story. So we went to dinner with another couple that are friends of ours, and they're real estate agents. And so we went to dinner that night, and I always was thinking that we should buy a building, excuse me, so that we were in control of our own destiny. And we were talking about it a lot. I went home that night and just started looking, and I felt we had to stay close to our core. I wanted to.
Client base.
Mm-hmm. And when I saw that evening, I saw it online, that it was available. So I created the whole store in my mind already, what we were going to do, what it was going to look like, how we were going to have outdoor seating and fans and this whole...
Propane.
No.
Everything except that.
There was no propane. I wanted to have a party room or a meeting space. I mean, I had a lot of ideas. So I immediately was emailing all the brokers and stuff. And then in the next morning, I started emailing and calling. And when they did call back, she said, it's already in contract. And I said, it can't be. And she said, it is. I said, well, I have to buy it. I mean, we already created the whole idea of what it's going to be, seriously. So she spoke with the owner, who happened to be Carmela DeSanto, and she was, I didn't realize at the time, but she was one of our customers for years. The sweetest woman. She used to come in all the time in our prior location, and she loved us. And when she found out what we wanted to do with the property, they were going to sell it to another.
Was either another nursery or
something in that.
Something in that
which makes sense for whoever was going to, be in that space. So
she liked that we were going to preserve the property and turn it into something pretty and all of that. So she did. She sold it to us.
That's great.
So that was very exciting.
Contract
and we at that time we worked 7 days a week.
Yeah.
For 8 years straight. And
so
we were building a building.
Yeah, you were running a business.
Yeah.
Construction.
Mm-hmm. And when we took a private loan from a loan shark.
There you go.
We did, because we were waiting to get a mortgage.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there were too many banks that would have lent money on a propane tank, and the environmentals that came along with it. SBA probably would have ran away from that.
They did, though. They gave it to us. But before that, it took about 10 months until all the paperwork went into place. So we had to take a private loan and pay larger interest rates. And it was scary, because we were running our business and paying for this whole, just spending all the money,
Yeah, carrying 2 properties.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we paid the taxes. And then one day, we basically, when it was ready, we locked the door to the store. And we went there and opened the door and worked.
I think we took one day. We closed on a Sunday. We opened up on Tuesday morning. Yeah. We just took one day to get everything ready to go, and
that was it.
Which, to the outside world, they just think that operators have such luxury to just shut the door, open up in a week or whatever. I mean, but that's just not realistic. There's such expense that comes along with it. And then, did you ever have any concern about leaving your existing location and someone else coming in to that space?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's real.
Absolutely. We paid the rent for that location. We had 2 years left on our lease.
Wow.
So we paid the rent for 2 years. Partly it was
to prevent that.
Partially, yeah.
Because you're humble usually, and you don't feel like it's not possible. Anything's possible. You're not guaranteed anything in life.
You bought a distressed property that was essentially a nursery,
garden center, more a garden center than
someone that was just like, I want to open up a bagel store. All I have to do is turn the lock left, and it's ready to go.
Basically,
it's a lot easier. There's no vision.
Nothing's impossible, but you know what? I mean, someone who knows that you guys have been around so long, do you really want to go up against
right? But we didn't feel that way. I always feel like I personally, we don't feel that we're rock solid, and we're always trying to be the best, always.
Not complacent.
As much as you think, like, I wouldn't go do that, but you never know. There's somebody that, you know, like, you know what, I'm going to do it because it's fair. And
so what is it like? You guys obviously you're married, your partners, your parents. Challenging?
No, it's great.
No problem.
You walk out for a couple minutes. We're going to do one-on-ones now.
I don't want to say it's challenging.
We do two different things.
Yeah. We complement each other very well, I have to say.
We do two. We definitely are. We have two different responsibilities. We definitely see things very differently. So there is some bumping heads a little bit at times, but we don't bring it home with us. We just sort of I push right through him and make whatever I want to happen. And he's pissed off, probably cursing at me for a minute.
Never.
And then it goes away. It's quick. You know, it's work.
Obviously, you make it look easy because you've had success for so long, but I'm sure it definitely presents its challenges and you work through it. But it's definitely a dynamic that many are not accustomed to. Right. You know, I'm not saying, you know, you're not the only husband and wife in business together,
but it is not easy.
Again, I'm sharing this because I see it from the other side. I come in as a customer, and if you haven't been to Broadway Gourmet, it's busy all the time. When you say, you know, at the end of the day, you know, that's pretty late in the day because it's busy, you know, into the afternoon. And kudos to you guys certainly putting out the right product and you know, sharing what I see in social media. You know, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but your store gets complimented for you know, some of the best bagels on Long Island. I mean,
thank you.
I can't imagine you don't see. Today. Thank you. Bring in a platter, and certainly get a test. My son, you know, he's 13, and says, you know, this is the best sesame flagel I've ever had. So,
love that.
Yeah, he does have good taste, and I've helped him, you know, branch out. But you know, your product. So, is that something you crafted, Gerard, many years ago, or?
Yeah, when I first got into it, we did different recipes. When we first opened up the first Broadway Gourmet, I had a recipe from my brother's store years ago. We tweaked it a little bit and different bagel rolls, and we got it to where I think it. I mean, I'm obviously biased, but I think it's, you know, one of the best bagels around. And you know, we work at it all the time, always working at it.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the baking part of it or the rolling, the hand rolling part of it.
And are you still, you know, very involved in that, or does your baker, do you give him or her some reign as far as recipe or? Well,
the bagel roller has there's a roller and then there's a bagel baker. The roller has his. Only thing I have to stay on top about it is obviously the waist, the size of the bagels, making sure they're where they're supposed to be, because obviously at the end of the day you want to make money.
Sure.
And you know, just as far as using the right ingredients all the time. But he's been with me a long time, over 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Certainly.
And that the baker and the roller are all direct employees of you?
Yeah,
because I know like we've had other people on, and they have like, there are rollers and bakers that just like bounce around from like place to place, and it's like shared in the industry.
They do, but for a while. Yeah, but he has so much to roll with us that he now is just with us. He basically rolls every day.
Yeah, when it's about 5 years ago, he always rolled for us for like 15 years. But he has a couple of brothers, nephews and they would all rotate if somebody was on vacation. I always knew who was going to come, but it wasn't maybe not the same person. You know, over the course of a year. But now over the past 5 years, he's just
been one guy.
It's one guy. Yeah.
I always wonder about this, just in the bagel business, generic. You know, how do you know, let's say your person doesn't show up, or do they roll a day or two in advance? Like
yes, and they don't ever not show up.
Like even in the pizza world, like, you know, if your head pizza maker doesn't show up, you know, is there someone else in line? But that's like in real time. I mean, I would imagine they have to roll somewhat in advance just to keep up with demand.
So yeah, you have a couple of days worth of bagels always
in the proof boxes, right?
In the bagel retarder, yeah. So you're never running it down where, you know, he has to come today and roll today, because you need 24 hours, 48 hours for the bagels to proof.
Got it.
So there's always a little bit of a cushion.
Okay.
So, but he's always there. He's always there.
He is always there.
He's always there. Not about something. He's always there. Even like, you know, he has his set days that he comes, but like if he's not supposed to work on a Monday and I call him on Sunday, say, listen, we had a very busy weekend. I need you to come tomorrow morning. Yeah. He'll be there 6 a.m.
You could do it,
of course,
if needed.
If I had to.
Could Melanie do it? No. Okay.
No, that's not
Do you
what
wanna
I
do
do.
that?
I like to do the
but I don't
catering.
want to. But I
To do
you know,
the
in a pinch, if I
yes.
had to, I could. And we're training somebody else right now, just as a backup in case of anything.
I like to have backups for every
Always.
department.
You need it. You need it.
Yeah.
So
In-
baker
in all
backups.
businesses, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Did
so this
you
way,
grow up in hospitality, or I
No.
read on the website that you were actually a figure skater?
figure skater.
Okay,
Yep.
so
That's
talk us to us a
interesting.
little bit about that.
I just learned
history.
something that I
You
had
didn't
no
know?
idea.
Yeah, I was a competitive ice skater from 5 to like 16. And my mom would drive me at like 3 in the morning. We would go in the back of her car with the hatch open. She would make me a bed and I would sleep. We would go to upstate New York, sometimes New Jersey, to like my coach, who was like an Olympic coach. You know, maybe it wasn't 5. It was probably like started to get as I was a little bit older. And that's what I did every day. We did that. I would go to school. All summer long, I would live away from home in an ice skater parents'
Like
home.
a billet, right? Like hockey.
I don't know anything about that. So what is that? Is that similar?
Where a
Sponsored.
player
Like a host family?
goes to a host family.
That's what it
They
basically
call
is.
it billet
But their
in hockey.
kid
Yeah.
also is an ice skater. Is that
Yes,
the same?
yes.
So
Yeah.
that's exactly right. That's what we would do. I would go live away from home for the whole summer in that kind of an environment, and we would just ice skate, dance all day long. That's what I did, like 8 hours a day. So I feel I was like created into a competitive, obviously, human.
That's a crazy
so
life.
and I did a lot of competitions. I did the Empire State Games. I competed against Nancy Kerrigan, and I won.
Wow.
I beat her. It was before it was before
Good
the
thing you didn't
Olympics.
go up against Tanya Harding.
Why?
She was a little violent. No, but it is true. I mean, it sounds funny, but I stopped before the time that we would have, or I don't know if I would have or not. I think I may have because I was very good at the time. But for me, I broke my arm twice on the same jump. It was an edge jump, and I started to develop a fear of doing that jump then. And
Just
I started, for me, I guess I felt like it's weird, but I felt like I missed out on life because I was like a working, and I don't know, I attribute it to almost feeling like I was working, like I had a job, you know. It's a big commitment, an athlete. It's a shame that I
you
didn't
get
follow
burnout.
it.
I mean,
yeah,
it's like kids now that they,
it's a lot.
Mike can speak better than I can, but you have these kids that become so competitive at an early age, and they have to be on this team and that team, and all of a sudden they get burnt out. I have friends that have, kids in college that play college athlete, and they're like, they don't want to play anymore. They see all their friends, they're going out, they're drinking, having fun, and they have to be up 6 in the morning.
I felt like I had
it's a
no
job.
childhood. My
And
cousins.
especially if you're not a starter and you're just riding the bench for 4 years,
Oh yeah, that's different.
then it's even worse.
Yeah, that's different.
So
I guess that would be different. But I mean, it was just me, so it wasn't like a whole team. But,
but it's a
I
job.
felt
When
like
you're
I
that
was
young-
missing out on like just regular things. So
We had a guy on, what was it? I forgot which guest was on it. He goes, from the age of 10, I was working in the pizzeria or the diner. And he's like, all my other friends
I
during
saw
the
that, I
summer, he goes, they were out playing. He goes, I was at the pizzeria or at the diner.
and that's
Mike
how you
from,
become like
Victoria's.
trained. Your mind becomes trained to.
Yeah, you have no life. And, your childhood is kind of taken from you.
Yeah.
You ice skate today?
Nope.
Never.
It's the
When you
weirdest
hung it
thing.
up, then that was it.
Yep.
Wow.
Isn't that, it's crazy. I mean, it almost feels like it was a totally different life. It's a shame, but so from that point, I, went to school, high school and everything. And then, but to relate it to the business, the drive, that's where the drive, like,
Well, you have no problem getting up early, right, I guess.
I don't get up early.
Not anymore.
No, I used to do it. Believe me, we went from 5 a.m. till 8 p.m. every single day for 8 years straight together. It was crazy. We were building our house.
Yeah,
That was when
it was a lot. It was a lot.
we did our house over. We had to move out, whatever. We were building our house and all that. But then, now I don't have to go in that early. But I now work a lot with the catering department. But I believe that the ice skating put such like a competitive
big
drive.
Yeah, she's-
It's like sick.
Responsibilities.
I have a sick drive. I
Does
can't.
everything have to be perfect? Mm-hmm. Well,
Everywhere.
And really,
Everywhere in
when
the
you're
world for me.
doing a catering or if someone puts an order in, I get it. Things happen in all of our business and you correct it. But the reality of it is like you want it to go out perfect
Always,
every time
always.
because guess what? you might not get another
chance.
You know,
Absolutely.
opportunity
Sometimes
you know, but you know, listen, people can correct mistakes too, and you figure it out. But I just interesting that you find that you know that type of perfection rolls into the business, and not to diminish, you know, bagels and catering, but people expect it to be right they'll pay a premium for it, but they want it to be right. So
absolutely.
I guess that's certainly not a bad quality to bring to your business. So, your kids, are they, how old are they?
Jackson's 11 and Bella is 7. She's going to be 8 this month.
Wow. They're into sports?
Mm-hmm.
Is that challenging to, you know, get them, since you're both so involved in the business?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
What do they play?
Jackson does basketball now. He plays Little League, and they both do golf, which,
Wow.
yeah, they're both.
For 4 years, he's had,
both really
we've
good
been
at it,
taking
so
him for a
that's
private
cool.
lesson for golf. So that's cool.
It's right up your alley, then.
My daughter plays. My youngest, my 9-year-old likes to play.
And now that he's getting a little older
Depends on
and
what
strong,
day you
he's
catch
getting
her on.
better, and he's, you know.
Do you play? Do you guys play golf?
I've played. I'm not, you know,
No, we should be. We're going to be.
Okay.
I keep telling him, I'm
start
like, we
again,
should
yeah.
be.
You have a desire to?
No, I don't at all. But I think for my son, our son, we should.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a great way to.
What is he? He's in what? 7th, 8th?
6. He just
Sixth
started
grade.
middle
yeah,
school.
yeah,
grade,
it's
okay.
11.
And then going back to so much, you know, I guess if 30 started in the 90s, what is social media and technology like for you guys today? When you first started, you were just ringing into a register, right? A punch register, probably?
That's,
Yeah.
It might have been computerized, you know, but it was
But
nothing
basic,
like, you know,
you
there
know.
was just print out a receipt. When I say computerized, it wasn't anything like that. Just the buttons were digital.
Yeah.
You know, fax machines.
How much has it changed your business, helped your business? And you guys, you do quite a bit of, you know, you have quite a bit of posts and all that. So talk about it, you know, technology and social media. And did you ever think it would be what it is today for Broadway Gourmet?
No, not at all. I mean, it's helped tremendously. You know, as the social media has grown and different things incorporated into the business, it's helped out tremendously between all the third parties, you know, the DoorDash, the Grubhubs, all that. It's just made the business more visible to more people. Catering, you can show all your jobs online. Thousands and thousands of people can see it, you know, without you having to go out and market it to certain people. You know, you want to drive as much people to your website as you can and to your posts, but it's helped an indescribable amount. It really has. I never thought it would get like this.
Yeah.
I
You
do.
like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
it's-
I mean, I don't personally do it. We have somebody that does it for the Melanie's more involved with that than me.
What do you mean, the social media?
The social media part of it, yeah.
Yeah, we
But
have
I mean, it's, now I'm getting a little more involved in it because it's become more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely driven the business a lot.
Yeah, like specifically on the catering side, I'm sure that, you know, being I don't want to say tied to bagels, you know, overcoming the bagel aspect on the catering side, but with the social media, I think has probably given you a lot more visibility to be like, what else do we do? Right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
sometimes I think when someone says bagel store, you go, oh, what kind of catering are you going to do? Bagels,
Right.
you know, wraps, but it
That's
seems
what
that you
people
guys
think.
do so much more.
Yeah, so-
And it's probably because of that visibility that's giving you that ability, correct?
Absolutely.
So I will say one thing, like one of our clients that we probably met about 15 years ago, corporate client, a big airline that we work with, they found us in Newsday. We advertised, I guess, in Newsday.
Years ago,
And
yeah.
a long time ago. She did it personally. She hired us to do a barbecue for her in her backyard. You know, that we bring the barbecue and all that. She loved it, and then she brought us into the company, and somehow brought us through everybody that worked there. I don't know. She took such a liking to us and the way that we, I guess, presented things and the food and everything. And 15 years later, we do very large events with that company. And I always say, though, when you just said that, it reminds me of some of those people in that company. They're in Long Island City. They don't even know. They don't know that we do bagels. They think we're just a caterer.
Yeah.
And then some people that come in our store think we're just a bagel store.
Yeah.
You know, so it's funny. It's like it's like three companies.
Two or three
It's like
different
a
worlds.
cafe, a bagel cafe,
Depends on
a
how
bagel
you're
store.
introduced to the company. Could
and a
be
catering
couple different
company.
avenues.
And they all find their way back to each other in certain ways, where, like more local, and like you said, you're doing some catering, and then there's others that are like hiring you for full scale.
Right.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of corporate, and that's my goal right now, is to build our corporate catering. That's what I've been working on with SEO and TikTok, Instagram, and the website and all that. So we've partnered with some really great accounts right now. I'm very excited. We're working with a production company every day. I'm not going to say names right now, but feeding them breakfast and lunch for like 60 people every day, which is so great. I'm so thankful.
Now, does someone head that up, your catering?
Yeah, so
division?
I mostly am the person that works with the girls. That's my favorite. I love.
And what about being out in the field? Is that you guys? I mean,
It used to be.
Yeah,
We
right?
used to.
Yeah,
so
we
years
started all
ago,
the jobs, all the barbecue.
we did everything. We used to go on the events. We would go to the events in the evening. We went to the Foundry. Does anybody know that place? It's in Long Island City. It's
Yeah,
a
I've
beautiful, crazy venue. It's such
Foundry.
There all the time. Yeah.
Really?
Awesome. Yeah.
It's a-
Well, I do
Yeah,
like
such a
production.
cool venue.
What do you do?
I do like production stuff, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll be like on the music production and the event production.
Yeah,
stuff, so
it's like a really
definitely have your food. If that's
it's a really great place. And we've many years ago, before we had a catering team, I was the catering.
team.
Yeah, meaning like I would talk to the client, do all of that, and he would I would
Book the
handle more
job,
of
and
the
I'll take
food
care of the
part.
food end, and we'd go.
And then we would go, us,
set
and
the
maybe a
whole
couple
thing.
other
We
people,
would have a team
and
with
set
us,
it
but
up.
we were,
But we didn't take any pictures because it was just
you
us.
know.
So we didn't have one picture of this amazing thing we did. And then we'd go right back to work. I would be at the register ringing everybody up, and he would go doing his thing. And that's what we did for so long.
It
and
made
then,
your day that much longer.
oh, yeah, we worked. Yeah, we worked.
How's the catering been? I know since COVID, back to work. So talk us through like what happened to your catering business
During-
post COVID, and then have you seen like a significant increase of corporate stuff coming back to play, bigger jobs,
Definitely.
people? I guess talk us through just that during
So
the pandemic,
during, I mean, there was
post-pandemic.
obviously nothing, right?
Yeah,
It was just whatever. Yeah, catering-wise, during COVID, was just whatever we could donate to help.
Yeah, we
You
did a
know.
lot of that. Did a lot
And
of
then
donations.
gradually,
Police.
little by little, people would start having smaller things. Even corporate things would be, whether it was 10 people, 12 people, and then little by little, over the past couple of years, started to grow again. And then with social media's help, obviously, people seeing what we do, and it's just finally back, to what it was before COVID. Even better, actually.
Yeah. So I guess because we gave a lot back. We went to the hospitals a lot and gave food to all the nurses and the doctors. We did a
Healthcare
lot of
workers,
that.
yeah.
And the police. We would do, what was that called? Back the Blue?
Back to blue, yeah.
back to blue.
Yeah.
We did a lot of that. We were sending food into New York City for all the police that were in the streets. Remember all that? Mm-hmm. We did a lot of that. So when you do, we wanted to do that, but then
It means,
they stay loyal
It
to
adds
it.
up. I mean, like I think we were talking earlier, even with us, of during that whole time, we had people with PPP, ERC, and there were other companies like our competitors that were like charging to do these things, and we were like, why are you going to hit someone when they're down already?
Absolutely.
But we feel that because of that approach, we
You've
got
gotten
so
busier.
much back.
Yeah.
Of course. That's
Because
exactly
people
right.
really valued the relationship of what we did.
Definitely.
And probably the same thing for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And even in, I was going to tee up the question for you guys about giving back, but I know even, as my kids came through the elementary school, you guys always gave to the 5K runs. And what are some other, charitable organizations that you guys support throughout the year?
All the schools.
All the schools.
All the schools. We work with.
For all the PTAs.
We do every year for like 4 years. We created an event called Pink the Bagel
I
Store.
was going to say, right, in October, I think you do
And,
something with is it breast cancer?
Yes, it's
Right?
a local family that lost her mom to breast cancer. She was a teacher in the Massapequa district. And so we started to do that. I guess it was
4 years ago. I think it was 4 years.
And we raised probably like $15,000 each year. It was great. And this year I didn't do it. I mentally could not. I did not have the brain power, it's terrible. But we didn't do it this year. I couldn't do it. But then we did just do where we fed the seniors. I don't know.
Thanksgiving
if you
Eve, we did
on Thanksgiving
give
Eve.
back. We partnered with our Friends for Life Home Care Agency. We're good friends of ours, and we fed 100 seniors on Wednesday, and some of them came picked up for seniors that couldn't make it, and it was a nice event.
Does your staff donate some of their time to help support that, or it's all just through Broadway?
We pay the staff when we're doing it. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to cut that out. But that's true. Nobody donates their time. No, nobody does.
Could be a labor issue too. I
well,
guess, right?
that's right.
What do you mean? Oh, you're not allowed to donate?
No, I don't know. I mean, I guess someone could say like, yeah, I'm gonna come and give my time for free.
No, they don't do that. I don't ask them to.
6 months later,
not how we do it.
You never know.
It's there if they want to. They are very appreciative of it. But
we thank you guys. You helped support us through Island Harvest. Collectively, the group of business owners and friends and family, we were able to donate 450 turkeys. So we thank you guys because you offered a lot of support. We appreciate it, and hopefully each year, in November, we'll continue to do that.
Is there anything like the stuff at the end of the day that doesn't get used? Does that get donated? Are you like? I know there's a lot of like rules and stuff with that.
We used to donate to whatever bagels left to like what churches, but we need to come get it because we can't send somebody. You know where to go.
Don't want to.
For a while it worked, and then they came out with a Too Good to Go app. Somebody created it, which is a genius thing.
But it's not a donation. It's
not a donation, but you're giving $18 worth of food. The customer pays $6.
$5? Is it something like that?
$5 or $6?
We get like two, which is fine. But at least
we're not throwing anything away.
Right.
Okay.
So whatever bagels left in the night,
it makes you feel better.
Yes,
of course, of course.
Because anybody can sign up for that.
Yeah,
you
have
just
to
go
do
on the app and you pick a store that you want to go to. Independent, they have surprise bags.
Pick up, but
they come to pick it up.
Yeah, they have like a 15-minute window. The last 15 minutes of closing, and
so
we called a lot of places years ago when we had tons of bagels,
so many different places,
and nobody can come and pick it up. They wanted us to bring it to them. We were working every single day. It was
that's a job in itself.
I think there's also food handling that I think rules and regulations that have to be.
I think with hot foods, certain temperatures,
and
you have to refrigerate it. And
we were thinking about bagels more.
No good deed would go unpunished in that.
Well, you always see like the people at 7-Eleven, right? And they have the Dunkin' Donuts thing, and then at like 9 o'clock at night, they're literally just throwing all those donuts right in the garbage. I mean, granted, I don't know if I want to buy donuts or I don't know. There's people that eat the pizza and those hot dogs. But it's interesting because it's like funny. Like my two younger girls, like we live in Oceanside, and there's a crumble cookie in our area. And my one daughter's like, oh, if we go right at 10 to 10,
they give them to you?
They give them away, the cookies from Crumble. And I'm like, I'm not going to Crumble. It's like poison, those cookies.
I know. It's crazy.
You guys, you have any plans for further expansion outside of Massapequa, like going back to a second location? Or?
Yeah, we have plans to open many. That's what we've been. No, I'm laughing because he smiled.
Sarcasm?
No, for real. That's what we've been thinking.
It's in the works. Nothing is concrete, but we're
in several states. I mean, we've been approached from so many people: Italy, Virginia, Denver.
Do you currently ship bagels outside the state, like through any type of like mail program or anything like that?
We were doing it, and FedEx, especially during COVID, FedEx was not getting them there, and they were getting green mold because they were unable to. They were on their end. They were having an issue. So we will vacuum seal the bagels for clients, and they can ship them. And we are signing up with Goldbelly, which is a very easy way to do that, but we haven't done that yet. So no, we're not yet.
And before you guys, we'd started talking about, you brought up your general manager. There are others inside Broadway Gourmet today that, could be, part of that expansion team. I mean, because you're two people, essentially, but, other partners and obviously then, we always like to ask people like, how do you turn it off for a little bit? I mean, you try to take vacation and is there people so reliant that they could operate the business without you for even a short period of time?
Yeah, we have a good team. We do. We have a good team. A general manager takes care of everything when we're not there. Like we'll go to Florida in February for a couple of weeks and he'll run the whole place. And we're just a phone call away if anything, but it kind of runs very smoothly. And we have a good assistant general manager. Our chef has been with us for a while. his assistant chef, a salad guy. I mean, everybody's been with us for minimum 5 years, if not longer. You know, the main staff.
Your core staff. So that gives you peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to turn it off or
never
even
did.
go
We
away.
never
Right?
went. We just started, how many? 3 years ago.
3 years ago, we just started doing that for an extended period. You know, we go for a week here, a week there, or a long weekend, but
now
never.
We went like 5 weeks last year.
Last year we went 5 weeks to Florida. Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah. I mean,
Where in Florida you go?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
There's some our friends come with us, and then she has family there. My brother's there, so it's nice. It's nice.
It's to get away.
Yeah.
And we don't even talk to
You
them.
de-stress as soon as you get off the plane.
We don't. And I'm so obsessive with work, and I do not even.
meaning you don't talk to the staff.
Like for the first week, we'll just
No, I mean,
shut
unless
it
they
off.
need us, but I don't
Yeah, but
call
that's-
them, don't check
But it's
in.
funny. They always say that like that's the best test, right? If you can remove yourself from the business and it's still run properly, then you're doing something right. You know, sometimes we go away and it's like my wife will be like, "Separate yourself."
I thought we were away, but I guess in fairness, being on the business development side, we laugh because as soon as I walk into the airport, my phone starts ringing with
we
new
joke.
work.
We joke
And,
with each
and
other.
I go, Vin, got one. You know,
He'll
and
usually
laugh.
go-
He's like, you got to go away more.
That's when it's good luck.
I usually go away to the tail end of July, and I usually go away the first few weeks of August. And I want to say we put on more business in those 4 weeks
We're
when
not
we're on
even in the
vacation.
office.
Like we should go away more.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I think we have a caller question maybe from the from the audience.
Oh, we do? I didn't know.
You mentioned Fort Lauderdale, so I'm just curious, what's the best bagel that you found in that area? Because I can't find
None.
one
There's
that we're
nothing. No,
talking
there's
about.
there's nothing. I'm not going to knock anybody, but there's nothing
We haven't found anything.
that has really.
Well, it's a lot of in that
Impressed me.
area. It's very like they have like Einstein bagels,
Yes.
which are more.
There's a few places that
You know.
open, but there's nothing that.
When you go up further north to like the Boca,
Yeah,
you know, I want
Boca.
to say like Long Island of the South, they have some pretty good restaurants and bagels, and you know,
Maddie's done.
you know, there's guys. It seems like there's a big migration of restaurateurs, and
Is that where you go? Oh, Mateo's just, that they opened in.
388 is in Boca, and they're definitely a busy restaurant. down there.
Is that what's in Roslyn right now?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. That's where they went the other night.
Yeah.
Our friends went.
Kids someday come into the business, or your son
They
ever
come,
work at the
we
shop?
bring
or
them.
daughter?
I mean, he's more interested, you know, in helping for 5 minutes, taking a break, and going on the computer in the back or something. You know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
grabbing some free food.
My daughter, she'll come next to me at the register, and she was bagging orders. If I was ringing people, I do actually like to still ring people up. I have no idea why. I love to work with the customer. So she's next to me, and she, she was like, I'm like, okay, white bag, brown bag, and she's like, perfect. She's 7. She was great. She did it, and then she said, "Can I have a break?" I said, "No, you were here for 3 minutes. You can't get a break."
Tough
No.
person to ask for a break, right?
The only time our
breaks.
son wanted to work a little more than 5 minutes is when the cameras were there last week.
Oh yeah,
He's like, "What can I do to be on camera?" So the cameraman was a nice guy. He's like,
for the Thanksgiving.
He's
give-
like, I'm
for
gonna film the
seniors,
kitchen, the
seniors.
chef's setting everything up for outside. So, you know, grab a spoon and mix the mashed potatoes. And he mixed those mashed potatoes like nobody's business.
And he was on TV.
yeah, he was. That
was cute.
That was his longest amount of time that he put into work.
Do you think the hours of a deli bagel store has like worked to your advantage of running a family in comparison to like a fine dining restaurant of where maybe you would have to be away, you know, till midnight, or, you know, working that 3 to midnight rather than, you know,
Yes.
5 a.m.
that
to-
compared to fine dining, but otherwise
gives
it's
you more
very
of like
different.
a realistic.
But where we work
life
on the
or-
weekends.
It's hard because on the
Yeah,
weekends
so
we're
the
both
weekends,
there. I
yeah.
mean, luckily we have help, but at home. But it's not easy. It's not,
Yeah.
especially now they're getting older and like we're talking about the sports.
Yeah.
So there's always something
Yeah,
going on.
that's what I say. I'm like
So it's
like
like,
an
you
Uber
know.
driver.
Yeah, that's what everybody
Melanie
says.
will
It's just like crazy.
bring them or go whatever there's a game or something going on, and unless it's after 5 o'clock at night, I'm missing it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I definitely think it's better than fine dining.
Oh, it is,
There
it
are
is.
there
Yeah, in
that's
that
like 2 in the
aspect it is,
morning.
yeah.
or
Yeah,
something,
because
maybe?
we have guys, you know, that come in and, you know, there's been guys here that, you know, I want to say break down to tears of saying like where they've given up so much of their life and of their family of what, you know, just because it's nighttime, you know, they're not at, you know, when they're at school, they're home. Right. And then once they get home from school, they're at work. So
Yeah,
it's,
they don't
I
see
think
them
it's
at
just
all.
such a different dynamic of,
It
you know,
is.
somewhat being nice to be done a little bit earlier.
Yes, we see them when we get home
Dinner
from work,
and
but it
stuff like
still
that.
feels like we are sacrificing that part of our life a little bit still. I mean,
Especially
a
on
lot.
the weekends and on holidays.
There's a lot of
it's hard.
guilt for me anyway. Yeah.
For me too.
You said earlier there's
Don't
you know,
leave me out.
there's not a day off, you know, per se.
There's not.
You know, but would you do it all over again?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, maybe a little slightly different, in maybe not, maybe removing myself a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, we know a
once
lot
you're
more
entrenched,
now,
you're there, and you.
right?
Yeah.
We know a
People
lot
rely
more.
on, like, they almost, I don't want to say fall back on you, that it's like, oh, if I don't do it, then they'll do it type of thing.
That's what happens.
You got to give people the, you know, the freedom to kind of make their own mistakes. And,
Definitely,
But I guess something to be said about being there too. You know,
of course.
you know, they could see the hands-on owners are doing it. You know, you wouldn't, you know, ask them to do something that you can't do or haven't done. You know, certainly 30 years later, still doing it, maybe more successful than ever. In fairness, I mean, you know, again, being a customer, I see you. It's God bless. It's nice to see, because that distressed property was that distressed property. So I don't know that we needed another nursery. You know, so
No, probably not.
what else?
I guess, you know, we spoke about it a little earlier of just, you know, rising costs, right? And, you know, you have a product that I think for a long period of time was very associated with inexpensive, right? Of grabbing a bagel, and now a bagel to some people isn't that inexpensive anymore.
But I still think it's the most inexpensive, I guess, other than pizza.
Yeah. But even that, I mean, I don't even know, a slice of pizza now.
Isn't
is
it like
what?
$5?
Probably, yeah, $4.50, $5.
So a bagel with cream cheese
Regular
is like
pies
$3
are
something.
easily in the mid-20s. I think, and you know, they're shrinking too. So
Yeah, that's the thing about Broadway Gourmet. Nothing is shrinking.
Not shrinking.
The product gets bigger.
Yeah, I went to a bagel store close to my house the other day, and, you know, I guess there's pros and cons to getting a POS system.
Yes,
they didn't
there
have
is.
one, right? So sometimes, like, you just automatically just not pay attention. But then they got a POS system, and all of a sudden I realized they ordered like an everything flagel, toasted, and there was like upcharges
For toasting?
for toasted,
Oh, no.
for the flagel. And then you're looking at it, you're like, it's $5 and sometimes somewhat cents for, you know, a toasted bagel. I go, it's just crazy. I mean, have you gotten any type of kickback from customers regarding just
No.
where the
Not
prices
much,
of bagel
not
are?
much. I mean, people
really.
kind of know, you know, things. I mean, everything's all over the news, and they know when costs are up. I mean, there's always going to be a few people that aren't happy when they come in and they spend, you know, X amount every single day for the same thing, and it goes up a little bit. We try to keep it, the margin, when we rise it, not so much, where it's going to make a big difference, you know, whether it's a nickel, a dime. But some people notice, but nobody really gives a hard time about it. Nobody complains.
And I think, you know, the guy Mike that we had on probably a few months ago, I think he put it best. He goes, people will only look at the price when the quality of the food starts to decline.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, as long as you keep the
know?
quality up to the standards that we set, I don't think anybody will complain about what they're paying for.
Yeah, like I usually, I don't want to say good or bad. I never look at price until I'm like,
I don't
is this
really either.
as
If you're
good?
disappointed with it,
Yeah,
then
if you're
right.
disappointed
Right.
with
You
it, you
notice that.
start to question it, right? And then I think that's when they cut corners, customers know.
We don't. That's the one thing. Yeah, we don't ever. Sorry, we don't ever cut corners with anything. I'd rather use a premium product and charge a little bit more, not a lot more, but a little more than cut corners in any of the food that
And
we
I know
use.
Crystal brought it up earlier of just restrictions, right? It seems every day there's more and more
Food
of
allergies or
food
food
allergies. How have you kind of tackled that? I know she made mention that, you know, you have gluten-free bagels and spreads and whatnot.
Yes.
Do you see that's just something that's growing and becoming more of
It got a lot
need
more,
to tackle?
a lot more in demand for that kind of thing. You know, we're not a gluten-free facility, but we do provide gluten-free products and follow the standards while we make it. You know, we're not the flour that we use, the everything that we use to do it, we follow it to the guidelines. But it has gotten more in demand. You know, between the gluten-free bagels, gluten-free banana breads and brownies and different things that we do. You know, even on Thanksgiving, people want gluten-free gravy or gluten-free this. We try to accommodate everybody the best we can and stay on top of it so people are coming back for it.
The production,
because there is a big market there for it, you know, for what we do.
When I was telling you that we're working with a production company right now, we're creating menus for them for gluten-free, vegan, and dairy-free, breakfast and lunch. So they're getting customized menus every day, every week. We're creating all that's what we're doing.
Which can be challenging, but we
do it.
Stay on top of it and, you know, make sure we have everything we need to do it.
You wholesale?
No.
We hand roll bagels, so wholesaling it becomes, you know, it's
that's a whole different business, right?
They
product
use a machine
to make to wholesale it.
Yeah.
Because people that have machines can pump out twice as much half the time and half the cost because you're not paying somebody a premium to roll a bagel.
Yeah. And maybe not the right term, but do you guys sell your bagels to like delis that serve your bagels? No. Gotcha.
You can only get them at Broadway Gourmet.
Yeah,
got to come in to get them.
Nice.
Found at one location.
There was a few places that had asked, like local places, but I'm like, I don't want to compete with myself. I mean, as much as I want to sell bagels to everybody that wants them to do it and then have them resell them and just not.
Get your propane, get your bagel.
Yeah.
Get your catering.
What's one of like the most surprising products that you guys sell that seems as anything like caught fire, like with bagels or cream cheeses?
So
that
the pumpkin bagel.
Pumpkin bagel, right?
Is it there or no? We're making the pumpkin bagel for fall, which is like it's just a plain bagel, and he like ties string around it to make it form into a pumpkin.
I saw that.
We did, we did a thing on Newsday Feed Me.
Newsday came, Newsday Feed Me with cameras and everything. They had it on their Facebook, and they love it. And it's like very TikTok. When we were doing it on TikTok and Instagram, we were packed on the weekends to come and get them.
Pumpkin bagels with the apple cinnamon cream cheese was a big one for this fall. Now the Christmas, we'll do Christmas colors. We'll do like a Buddy the Elf bagel, make those kind of colors, and the red, white, and green. So that's always big this time.
Makes it a little fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kids like to get it and load up the cotton candy cream cheese on it.
Gerard, 30 years ago, were bagel stores doing anything like that?
Nothing.
It was just...
It was plain sesame, everything, poppy and cinnamon raisin.
And that's
you're
it.
lucky if you got a whole wheat
And
bagel.
then if you got a little fancy on cream cheese, it was probably a big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Back then?
Yeah. I think walnut raisin was like the cutting edge of cream cheeses, you know.
Well, I saw on your website, like you have some pretty crazy cream cheese. You have cannoli and this.
Cream cheese, Nutella, funfetti, which is a big one. Funfetti is a big one. Kids like that.
Yeah.
The sweeter the cream cheese, the more the kids like it.
The more unhealthy, the better.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What do you want the legacy to be someday for yourselves, for Broadway Gourmet, for your kids?
It's a good question.
That's a tough one,
Dude,
right?
I don't know.
Mike waits till the end to throw out the real.
Couldn't prep me for that one.
Legacy. I mean, work hard, and I
ask,
be determined.
Because sometimes we have listeners that sometimes they're interested in your industry.
There, right?
Sometimes they're interested in hospitality in some capacity. This is not an easy business. So, what do they see? Oh my God, the line's out the door. They're rolling in it, and this and that.
Yes.
They didn't see what it took you to get there, and they still don't even know if you're rolling in it, but they just make assumptions because we hear this all
the only
all the
thing
time.
you roll is bagels.
You go out to a restaurant on Friday night, Saturday night, and you're like, let's open a restaurant. Look how many people are here.
Yeah.
And then there's nobody around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So part of asking the question is just for them to fully grasp, what this entails to take on.
To me, to us, we put our soul into this place. Soul. I mean, I live and breathe that. I can't help myself. I have like an obsessive personality. So that's like I'm constantly thinking about how to get better, or how to, be better at the hospitality end, or the customer is the most important thing. I'm always telling everybody. That's why I love to work with the customer. And I want them to treat the customer as I am. We know everybody that walks in the door for so long. Mm-hmm. I like that they feel it's like a family place. I always say it's like Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Mm-hmm. It goes a long way, and I think Paul from when we had from our friend from the pizzeria. He goes, I think the most important thing that I teach my guys is to know the name of the customers. It makes them feel important.
Of course it does.
You know,
I like when I go
like
into a place and somebody knows me and they know my name. It just feels good. It feels good. It means that you care enough to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether they do or not, I guess now it has it on the ticket, right, with all the food orders. Mike, hey.
Yeah, but they have to know it first.
I know.
Although,
it's certainly much more visible than ever.
Yeah.
But
and it's also for your kids. I mean, like you were saying before, of the hard work that you guys put into it, of what that displays to the kids. You know, they're seeing it day in and day out, the hard work, the weekends, the holidays.
Being there to make sure that when somebody's buttering and cream cheese a bagel, putting cream cheese on a bagel, that it's perfect. I say to them all the time, make it Instagrammable. Yep. Don't have the cream cheese flying off of the bagel. Oh, sorry. Don't have, when you're making the egg sandwiches, make sure the bacon's on the bagel and not or on the roll and not hanging off, and then they're cutting through it.
Cut through half the bagel and the other
constantly,
half is
You got bacon on one side,
doing.
nothing on the other. It's just you want everyone to be as perfect as it possibly can, because if you were eating it yourself, you'd want it to be like that. I always tell my guys, make it where you're going to eat it and enjoy it, and then somebody else will too.
It
and it's contagious,
and it's repetitive, and you have to say it every single day.
Do you guys
Same
get
thing.
a lot of like reviews and stuff like that on Google, and you stay on top of those? Responding to
They're
them
hard.
and making
They're
sure.
mostly good.
Yeah.
Once in a while, it's bad, but
you take it personal?
So personal. Yeah, it hurts my soul bad.
My everything
so
bagel
bad.
is too
Everybody's a food
toasted.
critic, so it's hard. It's hard not to, but you try not. I mean, I try not to. I just try to. I see what it is, and I'm like, all right, we have to do better next time.
No, but sometimes they had cream cheese and jelly, and the jelly was falling off. Well, the bagel just came out of the oven.
Yeah.
You can't really help it, but it's still because that's all I see is the one negative, not all the things that we heard that were great. That one negative, it has to get better, has to be fixed.
Cracks me up sometimes where you see like someone will take their reviews and you can't really it's not like it's a slow scroll, but they'll take like the negative ones and they're like pumping it right in front of like you can't really read it, but it's a negative one and they're like, oh, look how funny this is, and they're actually making fun of it essentially because I think it's their way of.
Most people don't even like negativity? Is that what you mean?
No, just in the sense of like it's a negative review and it's so ridiculous. So they take these ridiculous ones and they actually put it to the forefront. You can't see it fully, but they're like it's like feeding through, and you're like, wait, did that just say the jelly rolled off because the bagel was hot? And you're like, oh my god, even me, you just
it happens all the
you gotta
time.
laugh sometimes and be like, my God, it's so ridiculous what people would spend time to write about.
It's so crazy. A woman would come in and she said, there's so many stories. I can't think of that many, but I'm just thinking of this where she came in and said, the bagel's hot. I didn't want it hot. I said, well, they're just coming out of the oven. It's hot. We can put it on the side for you if you like, And they get mad though.
I don't want to wait.
I love a hot bagel myself personally, but
I'm gonna go put it in the freezer for 5 seconds.
everybody's different. Everybody's different.
What are some other good stories? There's got to be one.
I wish I would have thought of stories before we came on here.
That's what we should ask people before we
Totally,
bring some
because
funny
there's
client
so many
stories because it just I tell Mike this all the time. Before, when I first got out of college, I started a valet parking company, right? So we used to have the best stories of people. They used to call up and they'd be like, all right, my tennis bracelet was missing out of my glove compartment.
They put in insurance.
Or, those little chrome caps that are on the wheels? Like people used to have like the metal ones. Oh, someone stole them off our wheels. Could we get them replaced? I'm like, what do you think? People used to call up and they'd be like, oh, drugs were missing out of our car. Like, all right, let's go call the police. What do you want to do? But it's just, it's just like you said, the same thing of you have clients that just, or customers that come in and they just, it's like you almost want to go to them. Are you even listening to yourself? To ask these things, to take
on the Saturday or Sunday when it's packed, I'm just trying to think of the things that go on when people. The best is what Anthony from Phil's.
Oh yeah.
When he always talks about the third party guys.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta love those guys.
They go right in your face with the camera.
They can walk past 10, babe. They push their way through the crowd.
And you're like,
shove their phone in your face, and you're like,
wait, what? They're crazy.
Wow.
But I'm trying to think of people when they get so mad that their food's not ready. And there's tons of people everywhere. Everybody's working. I'm like, they have two hands. They're going as quickly as they can. And you look at the ticket, and it's been like 9 minutes. I always say,
hungry people can't tell time. They have no concept of time, because if it's 3 minutes, they've been here for 25 minutes. And there's no pleasing
one
them
man
except
was,
for just
and
getting
he
their
was
food
screaming in the store, and all the customers are like.
How much of your business would you say is through like the third-party apps versus the people that come in now?
I would say it's about, I'm going to tell you the percentage is probably 20%, I guess.
That's a significant amount.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Relatively speaking. Yeah.
It wasn't like that, obviously, till COVID.
Yeah.
COVID changed the whole dynamic of the business. It turned it into a lot of pickups and a lot of deliveries and third parties.
Did you have delivery people that worked for you?
We still do.
We did, yeah, we do, yeah. Yeah, we had one full-time.
But is it for just majority catering, or is it also for like
no, we have
one-offs?
somebody else for catering. It was just for those.
Just
for
like
the regular
if I need
local
like 4
breakfast
bagels
and
yeah, people
2
call
cups
from
of
their home
coffee.
or office, yeah.
So you'll do that in-house.
All local stuff, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that in-house.
We also have, and we have the third parties, but for
Yeah.
people that don't, because we have people that are so used to it. I guess we try to accommodate everybody. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, the fees add up also. I mean,
Yeah, people don't want
if you're only going to order 2 bagels and a cup of coffee, you're
It's
going to
a
pay more for
fortune.
the fee than the
people
actual.
that aren't tech savvy, that don't know how to go on and order, so they're more comfortable calling, speaking to somebody. So
Yeah, you make more money off of that too, right?
You guys big critics when you go out to eat, whether bagel
Yes.
store or do you go anywhere else?
Not much, but
Just to see what's out there, or
we
have time to do,
we haven't in a minute, but we usually do.
Yeah.
Or a lot online. A lot
are you
of research.
forgiving sometimes because you know what it's
No, we're
like
forgiving.
to be
We
on
are
the other
forgiving.
side?
yeah, because you know
When it
what,
comes to
you know
that.
what probably caused it, so you kind of like see
Yeah.
it from their side. You're not
You'll
gonna-
offer constructive criticism, not go on and do some crazy Yelp review.
right.
Critic meaning
I
that
would
you
never do that
you
to
want it to be really good,
Mm-hmm.
but if something goes wrong, no, totally forgiving.
Nice.
Totally forgiving.
What else?
We talked about building a robotic bagel store
Yeah.
with no
might be on-
people.
the labor problem.
Stop rolling. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I know I shouldn't say that out loud.
I guess that's interesting because we've seen a lot of clients that are in like the QSR space of, do you have any like kiosks at the bagel store so people can put their own order in?
Yeah,
and
we
not
have
to
2
wait
of them,
online?
Yeah, we do. We have two self-ordering stations.
How's that kind of worked out for you? You think it's
They're great.
been received well?
Yes, we have such a large menu,
Yeah.
not like a fast food type of place that it's more difficult.
It's mostly for the younger kids that can navigate their way through pretty easy.
But they love it.
Yeah. No, they put I think they love putting a name in that. I don't want to say it. Messing around, putting a funny name and
Stupid
get
name.
somebody to yell it out.
Yeah. 6, 7. Anyone ever do that? I say that because I was with a friend of mine. We were driving, and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if we stop at Starbucks?" So I'm like, "All right." And he comes out and he puts the coffee in the middle. It says 6, 7. I'm like,
No way.
"What the hell is that, Paul?" He's like, "It's funny, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, but no, like, you're a grown man." He's like, I did that because of the kids. So wherever I go, I put in 6, 7, and they yell out and they go, ha ha ha, 6, 7. I'm like, oh my
And
god,
the kids
just
love
please
it.
stop. Like,
That's funny.
And I'm not even a teacher. Where my wife is like, if anyone says it in the house, like, it's over.
It's driving people
There's like
crazy,
6, 7
right?
bands in schools.
Yeah.
But it's I'm sure you see it all, but. Thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
The
This is
story's awesome. Keep at it. Over 30 years. Check them out. Gerard and Melanie at Broadway Gourmet in Massapequa. You won't be disappointed. So
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming on.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.